Hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning into a special edition, Steel City Sports World. I'm your host, Luther Dupree, joined by my man, Mike Migliore, Smoking Jim Frazier. We got to send a big shout out to Kelly Russell and also Claudia, who couldn't be here, but they would if they could. That being said, we got a special show. Great high school players in the house tonight. Make sure you give us a call, 231-2288. First, we got to get it started off with our Steel City news. What you got, Mike?
The last time the entire country sat down in front of their televisions to watch a slow white Bronco, O.J. Simpson was in it. Peyton Manning was terrible during the Super Bowl, terrible. But does that ruin his legacy? No. Peyton Manning owns almost all the quarterback records for the NFL. Does that mean his career is over, that he's washed up? No. This past season, he threw for 5,000 yards and a record 55 touchdowns. It takes a Steelers quarterback 3 seasons to do that. Is he the greatest quarterback of all time? Absolutely not. That would be Joe Montana. But unless Peyton Manning is retired in the last hour and a half, he is right now the greatest quarterback in the NFL today.
All right. We'll have some conversation about that later. Now we got to go to Smoking Jim Frazier. Oh, before we do that, we got to put a disclaimer out here. Words you're about to hear, Smoking Jim Frazier alone, they don't reflect my thinking. Definitely don't reflect Mike's thinking. That being said, it's all yours, Smoking Jim.
Hey, thanks, Lou. 2 weeks ago, the Pittsburgh Steelers gave me a call to invite me to help them with their draft. And most people know by now, and I'm an NFL scout, and this will be my 12th year in a row spending draft weekend with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I'm going to do something a little bit differently this year. I'm going to surround the building with yellow caution tape because the Steeler organization is turning into a crime scene. It was a crime for the Steelers to fire first-year offensive line coach Jack McNeil Jr. The Steelers traded for Levi Brown, the fattest man in town. Levi Brown is obese. He got the muscle tone of a canned ham. Maybe the Steelers thought his double chin would help him on double team blocks. This is a guy who got hurt in pregame warmups. That ain't Jack McNeil Jr.'s fault. Listen, Jack McNeil Jr. didn't draft soft Michael Adams, who would rather smoke a blunt than lift weights. Hey, Adams, this is Pittsburgh. This ain't Colorado. 350-pound Marcus Gilbert is fat, slow, lazy, and sloppy. The only reason he's the starting offensive right tackle is because he loves Ben Roethlisberger. At 350 pounds, he loves anything with burger in it. Listen, it was a crime against Steeler Nation for them to fire Jack McNeil Jr.
All right, Smoking Jim. Tell us how you really feel, man. Hey, but we do have a special show. We want to get it started. Right now, we have some models in the house.
Woo!
Some Steel City beauties that we want to bring up, and nobody brings them up better than Smoking Jim.
Well, anybody that knows me knows I love the ladies, and my best friend just happens to be a female, and she's here today. Calendar model Gabrielle Baker, the touchdown maker. And the ink is still dry on the contract. This lady just signed a modeling contract on Monday. Please give a big hand for Frankie and her sister.
Okay, Frankie's sister, could you tell us your name since we didn't get that? Shavonna. All right.
When you signing your modeling contract?
All right. Well, thank you all for coming on to help us give out some awards. And the first award, we're going to go out to Stowe Rocks. We got a player who's been here so many years. All he did was keep making plays on and off the field. We got to give it up to my man, Brendan Blair, a legend. That's a legendary name on this show. Not only Brendan, we've also had DeWan, and he just keeps making plays, man. Of course, he got to get all his hugs in from everybody before he steps to the mic.
He's a Blair. He's a
Blair. It just comes with it. Hey, Brendan, we have some clips we're going to run for you as well. You can just hold the mic if you want. You don't have to put it back in there. Talk about the season, man. We know beginning of the year, we had you going to the title, and y'all came close. Y'all did everything. Y'all knocked out Claire, and just talk about it. I mean, I know what the highlight is, and I know what the low light is, but just talk about it.
It was a fun year overall. I'll say best year so far to me, besides my sophomore year.
Okay.
For me, like in my aspect, because last year I didn't feel like I did what I could, but I did what I had to do. But I feel like this year I put my team in a position many times to win games, or either making a big play, making a sack, or fumble recovery, anything. Good tackle.
One of the happiest days of my life was when y'all beat Clarendon.
Hey, when you came on, you did one of your goals. You said you all were going to beat Clarendon. Unfortunately, it happened in the semifinals and not the finals. I mean, were you guys too pumped up for that game? That once you all beat them, it was kind of just.
That was a back and forth game. That was a good game. That was probably second best game this year, closer than Shannon, because that was when we had stopped them 4 downs.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting.
That was good right there. But that Clarendon game, the atmosphere was great. It was loud. You couldn't hear nothing. It was a back and forth. We scored first, then they scored, and it wasn't. They had us up the first half, and then we came back and got the victory, though.
Okay. Talk about that now. We got to talk about one of the lowlights, man. The championship game. I mean, your offense was unstoppable all year, and what happened, man? Just tell the viewing audience a little bit about that, man.
Pretty much, Mallory, he got hurt, but I'm not making no excuses. I feel like sometimes it was time that we needed to run different plays, but our coach, I'm not knocking him or nothing, but I feel like when we go, I'm not knocking him, but
you guys speak the truth, man. Right. You had your 4 year, you moving to college now, man.
I'm not knocking him or nothing, but when you get in a big game, you just fold up the play calling. It wasn't as how it was the other games, and we didn't attack like we usually do. I mean, because the Clarendon defense was better than North Catholic defense, and we scored on them. We scored on them with ease. So I'm not going to get into all that, but
that one catch that you had in the championship game, that was as good of any catch I've seen since Lynn Swan days, man. Yeah. And I was just surprised sitting up in the press box that they didn't use you a lot more.
Yeah, definitely would have liked to see you get the ball more, man.
It was Mallory. It was a crucial loss for us. I mean, they was pretty much shutting Lenny down on the run game and stuff, man. He had a pick, only one, but he got a pick too. So, I mean, I'm not knocking him, but just shout out to my whole team, man.
Yeah,
the Vikings, my coach. I mean, I thank my coach Bradley, and all the coaches for everything that they did for me. So,
all right.
Do you think this is the last year in Stowe Rocks that they can keep all the football players academically above board?
Oh, man. With all that, man. Don't even answer that, man. Anyway, what's the future for you, man?
For me, today I signed my letter of intent to go to Cal University. So.
All right. Vulcans.
There you go. There you go, man.
I just felt like Coach Keller and the rest of his staff, they wanted me enough, and they was the only ones willing to pull that trigger for me, and I felt like home there. And when I took my visit, it was fun, and I made a good connection with all the coaches.
TV every week, get to watch you.
There you go. We definitely gonna be up there, man. So hey, congratulations, Brent. It was an honor. We love seeing you out there, man. Keep representing that Blair name and keep doing big things, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Hey, next up we got to go to Wes Mifflin. All he did was make plays all year. My favorite player. We're about the same height. You know what I mean? We got to go to Jimmy Wheeler.
Fastest guy.
All he did was make plays. Love seeing him out on the field. Can we run at Jimmy Wheeler's plays? Here we go. We see some of the speed, man. He just came through the line flying. Hot Wheels, man.
Wow.
It seems like every couple years, man, we always had that running back, just like you, just kept coming the same lines like a Eugene Jarvis and, just doing your thing, man. Talk about the season, man. Leading touchdown maker in the WPIAL. Talk about the season, Jimmy. Nice.
We had a good season, We was trying to fight to go down to the championship again, back down hands. We fell up short to Franklin Regional. Kind of depressed about that, but ain't nothing I could do now.
Hey, you left it all on the field, so that's the key thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No. Talk about the season. Your highlights, your lowlights, things that you'll remember.
My highlights. I'm always remember my speed. Just can't no one catch me on the field.
as we see right here.
I gotta remember.
And then that run was one of my favorite. I mean, spinning. You saw the speed. You saw the moves, the spin moves. you know, it was just, it's always good seeing you guys out there, man. And West Mifflin has really, you know, took a step up, and I'm glad to see you guys are back fighting for championships again, man. Do you think it prepared you for the next level?
Yes, it prepared me for the next level because I had a really good coach, Coach Brazo, Coach Former, running back coach, helped me out a lot, taught me things I never knew, and he made me the player that I was.
Okay.
Never heard of them. But how many yards did you run for, Jimmy?
2,600.
Ooh, they must be good coaches.
Almost 3,000, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah, West Miflin's been bringing it, man.
Wow.
What's the future hold for you? What are you trying to do, and how's the recruiting process?
Like I'm gonna go to a 4-year college. You know, I'm still thinking. I'm deciding between Slippery Rock and Cal U.
Okay.
Yeah, track
Still
season.
got track
yeah.
season.
Yeah, I think I seen you run indoor track either your sophomore, junior year, either at Slippery Rock, I think, indoors. Fastest dude, man. Tip your toes. I said, that guy's unbelievable.
Did you say Cal maybe?
Yeah,
Oh
Cal.
man, you sit beside somebody who's gonna be whispering in your ear. I don't know, man. I think I might say Cal already if I had to call it. But Cal's doing some big things. I like how they're getting a lot of the kids from this area and you know, working well with them, man. Jimmy, keep it up, man. Keep your head up, man. Have a great track season, and I'm sure we're gonna see you doing big things on the next level too, man.
No doubt.
All right, Jimmy's going to introduce one of our lone city representatives on the show today.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you just run across somebody that's just so special, man, that you just feel honored whenever you're in his presence. This guy's 300 pounds. He can squat 600 pounds, bench press close to 400 pounds. And the City League doesn't get much recognition.
None.
Well, when you only got 6 schools. But this is a guy who last year was honored by Hines Ward, picked up an honor. This year we honored him a few times. He was City League Player of the Year by the Willie Stargell MVP banquet, and he's back again. My main man, Jordan Maben. And he's even an actor. He plays the lead role in Grease.
Oh, man. All right. Hey, can we run Jordan Maben's clips as he gets all the hugs in, man?
I need to get an award today.
Yeah.
I need some of those.
Hey, Jordan, you know, not a great year for Brashear, but you definitely doing your things on the field and made some good plays. Let's talk about the year, man.
Well, I'd say, you know, for the seniors, we had a great year, the best year, I mean, other than getting the championship that we could have asked for. Just besides football, you know, we created so many bonds that we're going to remember forever, pretty much. But, you know, football-wise, we came up short against Alderdice twice, last game of the season and the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to play in those games, so, I mean,
Could have
they could have turned out a little different possibly, yeah. But, you know, we just worked hard. We tried hard, as hard as we could, and it just didn't work for us in the end.
Okay, so how's the injuries? You're fine now, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm all good now. I just hurt my knee, had an ankle injury, but I'm all good, all healed, ready to play some college ball.
What's your I'm not big on academics, but what is your GPA?
I have a 4.2 GPA.
What I'm talking about. Wow, I like hearing that. Hey, and I'm big on academics, so that's why we sit on the opposite end of the table. No. So what's the future hold for you?
I'll be playing football and studying at Dickinson College in Carlisle, PA. Very good school. They have a really good coaching staff, all intense guys. Love them all. Just excited to be a Red Devil.
Yeah, I hear that. Talk about the City League. City League doesn't get any love, but we try to do what we can on this show to give it some publicity. Talk about the City League.
You know, the City League doesn't get notified or recognized as much as I think it should.
Right.
But you know, we we have some really competitive guys. We have a guy going to Harvard. So you know, we can play, we can compete with
Harvard.
with the best of them. So I mean, just give us a chance and we'll show you.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Hey, definitely. Just talk about a little bit about the recruiting process. We have a lot of youngsters that watch show, and what can you tell them? Give them some advice.
The main thing is grades, just grades. That's what made it easy for me. And there are some guys on our team that are struggling simply because of that. But as long as you have a little bit of talent, some decent talent, and you got good grades, and it's the world.
Okay. All right.
Very well said.
Hey, great advice, man. We
Thanks,
want to get back to you. Who else we have in the house? Smoke?
Well, you know what? The guy, he just came in, and I'm glad that he's here because he actually has an appointment. He's the hardest working guy I've ever met in my life. He's right up there with Walter Payton as far as his work ethic. He's missing part of his weightlifting workout right now, and to be here, and he's already signed, I believe, a scholarship to go to the University of Pittsburgh from Shadyside Academy. My main man, Denny Briggs.
All right. Got the guns out. Can we run a Dennis Briggs clips real quick? Shadyside Academy. You guys had a great year. Unfortunately, I had the chance to see you guys beat on my cousin a couple times this year, and definitely just did big things. Talk about the season, Dennis.
We had a great year. I mean, we had a decent year. We went 8-2. We started off 8-0. Lost the last 2 games, which was unfortunate. Lost our championship game by 1 point, and then lost our playoff game because we were kind of down about the championship game. But I mean, looking back on it, the season was great. Just being a senior, you're so comfortable in the system. So it's something that you can't forget because you're so comfortable out there. You're doing everything you know how to do. So it's something that you'll definitely remember.
Okay. How was it playing at Shadyside Academy? I mean, you guys had a lot of talent. We have some viewers that may be, thinking about going. Just talk about playing there, coaching-wise and academically.
I had a good coach, Coach Havern. He played at Pitt. He's a quarterback coach. He's an offensive guy. He focused mainly on offense, so he was coaching me up at running back. I had an amazing coach on defense, my coach, Dave Laseka. He's a hard-nosed guy, so my offensive coach was kind of funny. Defensive coach kind of hard-nosed, so they were a good offset. So I definitely had a good coaching staff. I had great teammates. I had a guy, Reggie Mitchell, who graduated when I was a sophomore. He's at Pitt right now. And I got a couple teammates that are playing at Division I AA schools and Division II schools.
Okay.
So we got a lot of talent on the team. Shadyside is a good academic school. It was challenging. So I learned how to manage my time well, which is why, I try to stay busy even now.
Okay.
And, it was great. It really was.
All right. And so now you're going to be a Pitt Panther. And what position are you looking to play down there?
They're taking me a running back, but I try to keep my versatility with my training in the off season. Staying training with defensive back and running back. So they're going to try me out at running back first, but we'll see what happens in training camp.
Okay. All right. And what other schools were in the running?
I'm at University of Toledo, University of Buffalo, University of Cornell, and Yale University.
Okay.
And you do some things in the business world as well, don't you, Denny?
Yeah, I try. I want to study business at Pitt, so I started a gumball machine business. I just bought some machines and went around my neighborhood, asked some people if I could put them there, and luckily they were supportive. So trying to make some money off of that, trying to figure out some other ways to get some experience in the business world. Because, I mean, it's something that I like to study, but it's something, when you love something, you want to go out there and do it.
That's right.
So, it's something I'm trying out. I'm just trying to stay versatile, stay well-rounded, and keep my head in all the right things.
And I love gumballs, so I got to look at something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you should have brought the machine in here. Yeah, you would have sold out, man. Hey, Dennis, great job, man. We look forward to seeing you at Pitt, man, and keep working hard.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Go ahead, Jim. What else we got, Jim?
Well, you know what? We usually only focus on seniors, but when you meet a junior that is so phenomenal, I tell you what, I love offensive centers because you can't play the offensive center position unless you're tough, unless you're smart. And when you play at a great school like Central Catholic and you play as a sophomore or junior, you're a very special player. Come from the greatest family in southwestern Pennsylvania, the McAllisters. Please put your hand together for my main man, the Wrecking Crew, Eric McAllister.
All right, can we run just the Central Catholic clips?
Thank you.
Central Catholic once again was a top school doing things in the WPIAL. Eric, just talk about the season, man.
Well, the season went pretty good for us. We came up short in the state championship game to St. Joseph Prep. And I definitely feel like we didn't have our best showing, but it was definitely, all in all, a great season by us. We definitely came together as a group out in January 9th was our first day, and I believe December 14th was our last day. It's literally a 12-month season. There's no off season for us. Actually, today we're back in the weight room for a couple weeks now, so we're ready to get back to it.
Well, you know, Eric, it's a shame you guys lost that last game because I thought throughout the year that your Central Catholic team was one of the most dominating teams in WPIAL history, with the exception of the Gateway game that was won by the referees. But do you think that the championship game, do you think that the championship game, because most football players, they get geared up to play Friday night, Saturday afternoon, or Saturday night. When that game got changed to Sunday, do you think that messed your focus up a little bit or threw you off a little?
Our coaches definitely did a pretty good job of keeping us in meetings and keeping us just focused on the game. But I would say we kind of peaked a little bit early. We were definitely geared in our minds to play for a Saturday night game, but due to the weather, it was postponed. But that's no excuse. We should have been prepared. But I can tell you what, if we were to get there again this year, it'll be a different story.
All right.
He's saying that in addition to the other teams that beat Gateway, a bunch of old men in striped pajamas beat them too.
Hey, well, let me say this because he's always talking at Gateway. I'm glad you ran Gateway out of Quad A. They didn't win the Triple A, Smoker Jim, because they wanted to avoid Central Catholic because they was getting tore up. There, I said it. And fired the coach. Y'all did a double whammy on him. Hey, but Eric, just talk about the lineman position. You know, all the glory always goes to the running backs, the receivers. Talk about the linemen because there's no running backs without you guys.
Yes, sir. We had a great running back core this year. Luigi Listabrenza and Riley Redmond, they were both over 1,000-yard rushers, and that's due to consistent work with our coach, one of the best offensive line coaches in the game, I believe, Coach Vaughn. And it's literally day in and day out. It's crazy. Like the practices that we have, it's like a game practice. You leave practice, you're just drenched, and you're just completely, you're out of it. But that shows on the football field because we have two 1,000-yard rushers, and that all due to summer workouts and off-season workouts that we're doing right now. So.
Okay.
Well, Barry Foster's son plays for your team, Grant Foster.
Yes, sir.
Is he going to see some play time next year?
Yes, sir. He's coming back from an injury right now, but Andy McCurrick, he's a great trainer. He's going to have him back in tip-top shape. We like to spread the ball around, so he's definitely going to be looking to get implemented into our game plan. So.
Okay. So for this next season, what can we expect from you?
So Central Catholic expectation is obviously WPIALs and states. So I'd say the goal is obviously to get back to where we were and just come out with a little bit
victory.
With a victory this year, a little bit better.
Did you want to talk a little bit about senior signing? I know you have some seniors that got some D1.
Today we had 14 guys sign the letters of intent.
Wow.
14?
Yes, it was an amazing senior class.
Yeah.
And it was I can tell you what, I learned a lot from them all, and I'm sad to see them go, but it's definitely time for some of us seniors to step up and get us back to where we need to be.
Okay.
That was good.
Hey, Aaron, pretty impressive, man. I can't wait to see what you guys do next year, man. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Appreciate it.
All right. And I want to thank, also I want to bring up my man Dorian. He's doing a lot of good things. In fact, some of the athletes we've had on the show, he brought us in contact with. I don't have a plaque for you, so you can't get the hugs from the models. It's just a tradition, man. Hey, but just talk about what you have going on before we take this next call.
First, what I want to talk about is what was mentioned out here earlier, the lack of exposure that the city kids get. That's one of the things that drove me to do what I do, is to help young athletes get some exposure.
Right.
Jimmy Wheeler comes from a great line of running backs at West Mifflin Area High School, but they don't send a lot of kids to college at West Mifflin Area High School, and that's one of the districts that I deal with right now. I did talk to the athletic director at Pittsburgh Public Schools last year and introduced him to a program called the Student Athlete Liaison Service. And what this is it's a track program that works with young 8th and 9th grade students all the way up to 12th grade if they play sports. Now, if you're looking at a student coming into your program at 9th grade and he may be in a class curriculum that is not of mainstream but below mainstream, we're able to put a curriculum together for him that he graduates on time and gets what he needs. See, what a lot of athletes don't understand is in 2016, the grade point average goes up and the SAT score goes up. So without you working on the back end, on the academics, like you're working on the front end with the physical part of it in every sport, not just football, basketball, every sport, then you're going to take yourself out the game.
Right.
So what I'd like to do is make sure that we keep our brothers and young sisters in the game.
Right.
One thing that we're going to do is we're going to disprove the theory that city league ballers aren't as good as WPIAL ballers.
There
And
you
know
go.
how we going to do that? Y'all know how we going to do that?
What you gonna do? Put a basketball out there?
Oh man, better
come
than
on.
that. Highmark built the stadium right over there from Heinz Field. We're going to have the first annual Allegheny County Bowl.
I like that. I like that.
We're going to have the best kids from the WPIAL versus the best kids from the city. Now, when I say the city, that means every city school. So that means if you go to school in the city, you live in the city. Ain't that right, Mr. Central Catholic? Yeah. So that means you got Central Catholic with Westinghouse High School,
Right.
with Imani Christian, with Mr. Barry. Mr.
Right.
Barry gonna be the head coach. So you got
Prep.
USO
You
there.
prep. All right.
You know what I mean? I got some honorable mentions and some brothers coming, and they're not seniors yet, but we'll have equipment on that day.
All right.
And we're gonna make it competitive. We're gonna let everybody see that, you know, it is even on both sides of the ball, and that these kids deserve just as much attention as the kids across the river.
You
on
guys
this
gonna
side
have
of
the
Whitby.
mercy rule?
The mercy rule. Hey, we're gonna let you judge that. I'm gonna give you a gavel. I'm gonna give you a gavel. We're gonna put a TV camera on you, and when it's enough, you can crack it.
Gateway might be down to double A by then, Smoker Jim.
Now, since you brought that up, I have insight on that too. This week, they interviewed Coach Nola at
Yeah, I
Gateway.
heard. Yeah, cleared.
So and from what I understand, he's going to take that position before the end of next week. So that's not only going to transform that situation into the way Coach Smith had it, where you had kids and parents flocking to Monroeville to have their kids play. You're still going to have that with that coach there. And that also shows me that in another 4 years or so, we'll be watching a merger of Clareton and TJ. And that'll
They've been
push
saying
them
that
up
for a
to
while.
See, and I mean, people want to say this and that. Like, there's 7,500 students in Pittsburgh Public School.
Right.
About 2,900 of them play sports and deserve an opportunity to go on to school and play sports. Less than 1% of them get scholarships.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And without, like I said, without parents knowing exactly what the changes are in the NCAA and what it is to even get to know you.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a long road to be able to get to know somebody. I got guys leaving out of college right now who can't get they got to get a pro day at school.
Right.
They can't get an invitation to get to the combine. You know what I mean? And what I like to recommend it or call it is chasing a dream. A lot of these brothers and sisters, they chasing a dream, and you have to do the right thing to be able to hold that dream. See, me and Luther were blessed enough to go to school with a kid named Curtis Martin, who's in the Hall of Fame now. You know what I mean? And I can tell guys stories that'll blow their mind. Like, you know, after lunch, he brushes his teeth. And then why is he doing that? Because he's not thinking about going to go hang out after school. He's going to go work out after school because his ass is on the prize. You know what I mean? And when your ass is on the prize and you hungry, you go get it. There's not no coach. There's not nobody in front of you that can stop you. You seek out who you need and you find them. I have a database of over 4,000 schools in the world. I get coaches that send me emails daily on what they need. So you can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Dorian Johnson or PGH Legends on Twitter and the hashtag Prospects 101, recruiting Prospects 101, also on hashtag on there. And there's always bits and pieces of what's needed and who's looking where. Okay. Today I seen a lot of Georgia guys stay in Georgia. I seen a lot of Ohio guys stay in Ohio.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
The trend that we have here that's hurting the WPIAL and the city is we're not keeping our best players in our area. and we're not attracting them. We're not recruiting them. We're not giving them the attention that they're getting today and that they deserve. There should be people out in the parking lot, if you ask me, and we're going to get them there. You know what I mean? Because it's just a little bit of recognition and understanding. And a lot of parents don't have that understanding, so they bring their kids to me. You know what I mean? They log on to PittsburghLegend.com, you know what I mean? And they sign right up, and we get busy. I take kids all the way from Little League to the pros, you know what I mean? Just because everybody needs a little bit of something. You might need a class with Luther one day on how to speak in front of a camera, how to be able to critique yourself and know exactly what you want to say and how you want to say it. You know what I mean? There's different things, and everybody that played the game is a mentor. Exactly. So I look at you as you played football, you played basketball, and you're coaching, and you're giving back, and that's what you're supposed to do. And all you guys graduating this year, that's what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? At the end of this right now, y'all need to be giving what y'all got to somebody else. Because that next dude coming from where you from is coming from where you from. Right. You know what I mean? And if y'all don't know this, everybody from Western PA all across the country to play ball, we brag about it when we get to where we going. Because we work horses. We always work harder than everybody else.
That's true.
You know what I mean? That's because they,
Man, that's good stuff.
Hey, Jordan, that's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Hey, we're going to take a couple calls. The number to call is 412-231-2288. Give us a call. Talk to some of us. But right now, we do have a trophy, a Defensive Player of the Year trophy that we want to give away. Smoke?
Well, you know, it was a hard decision. And I think that a guy that's got all-around ability, if you watched him play since he was in 9th or 10th grade, you knew he was a special guy. I always had him earmarked of going to the University of Pittsburgh or West Virginia University, but I am so proud that he's going to go to KLU. That way we can continue watching him on TV. Defense goes to Brother Blair.
Hey, Brendan, like I said, man, you're a veteran here, man. You know, been coming for a while, and you've always been putting in the work, man. We wanted to make sure we gave you your credit, man. We enjoyed watching you. And that $4 for y'all stop on the Shattuck, that was tough, man. And you was an integral part of that, man. But we just like watching you. You kept doing your thing, man. Take that up to Cal and just keep working, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. And of course, we got to give an offensive MVP of the year trophy. We got to go back. West Mifflin's been heavy on here. We got to go to Jimmy Wheeler, led the league in yards rushing, touchdowns. Man, it was just a pleasure. You gave him the ball. You knew something was coming. Everybody knew he was getting the ball, and all he did was just keep putting up numbers and numbers and numbers, man. You know, I don't like the Philadelphia Eagles hat you got on, but I like the way you played at West Mifflin, man. Just talk about your season, man, and congratulations on the award, man.
Thank you. I had a good season. I didn't know what type of season I was going to have, you know, but I would just work to try to be the best that I could.
Yeah, and you know, when you're a running back at West Mifflin, you know, like you said, the last couple years you guys have been putting up, you know, great numbers. And you just followed in that line. And wherever you go, if it's Cal or Brendan or wherever, man, you make sure you give us a shout out and you know, stay tuned in. But great job, man. Congratulations. We enjoyed seeing you, and we're going to miss you on the field. But keep it up wherever you decide to go. Hey, again, number to call, 412-231-2288. We're going to jump to the phone lines. But also, we want to talk to the players a little bit about the Super Bowl that was played. No, everybody's saying they're a Seattle Seahawks fan, but I'm sure a couple of you guys had the Broncos. Let's get you guys on the mic. Eric, you're closest to the mic, man. Your thoughts on the Super Bowl in general and just the NFL.
Definitely the Seahawks. They definitely came out to play. I'm a fan of Richard Sherman after everything. You know, that was the big story.
He's the best.
Yeah, I don't know. He did get hurt, but they were just a little bit too physical for Denver to compete. So they came out with the W, and now they're NFL champs. So.
Well, they say defense wins championships, and I hate to do this, but the only one I had Seattle winning a close one, but I got to put it out there. Smoking Jim called 42-14 before the game took place. He put it out there, and then You know, I kind of ripped him, and a lot of people ripped him, but he was right. For the first time in a long time, Smoking Jim, you were right. So I just got to get that to you.
No. The last show, Jim said the Steelers were going to win the last 10 games. Did they get close? Wasn't he right then, too?
Smoking Jim.
I had the Seahawks, 100%. Made a little bit of money off that game, but
Right? Heavy money.
yeah, but you know, I had the Seahawks all day. Number one defense, number one offense. I was gonna go defense.
Okay. And guys, also, you know, we know you're football players, but the whole thing has been made about concussions and you know, head injuries. Did that stop you or your parents from saying that, you know, I don't know if I want you to go back out there? Jimmy, just talk about that, you know.
I actually had a concussion that, like, I couldn't remember nothing from that day. It was a real bad concussion.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't remember nothing from that day. And I had to go to the hospital and things sit out. Concussions ain't nothing to play with. Like, if you have a headache, go right to the trainers and tell them, like, yeah, I have something, like something's wrong with my head, and have them check it out, because you don't want to keep playing, because something wrong can happen. You can never be playing again.
Yeah, next time you get hurt, don't let them take you to McKee Sport Hospital.
As far as your Super Bowl, you had the Seahawks too, or?
Oh, yeah, I had the Seahawks. Peyton wasn't nothing to that D. He couldn't pick them apart. Sherman, all them, they too nice for him.
Seattle set for the next couple years to come. Go ahead, Brendan.
About the Super Bowl, I didn't think it was going to be like that. I'm sure no one did. But like y'all say, defense win championships. They basically just Sunday four up front and just locked up the whole game. 8 corners against Denver's receivers. So, and Seattle won. That was to me was the core of the game. Like, who won the game? The defense really won. If it wasn't for the defense, the offense wouldn't have won. Period. Because they couldn't keep up. Seattle's offense ain't as good as Denver's to me. In my eyes.
They look high powered. You know, on Sunday. I mean, you know, Harvin makes a difference. You know, that was the key factor. You know, fastest player on the field. All he did was he could easily got the MVP. You know, Jordan wanted to jump in here.
No, Dennis did.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Dennis.
Who did I have for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, and also you can talk about concussions. That brother's too smooth with the voice. Who that had for the Super Bowl?
I was sick.
Yeah, man. Who did you have for the Super Bowl? Go ahead, Dennis. I like that. Go ahead, though, man.
Don't put it very wide out there.
Hey, let me get you to stand up a little bit because we can't get you. There you go. All right.
I mean, I had to be honest, I had the Broncos. I thought they was going to win. I mean, Peyton Manning had an amazing year. I thought he was going to finish it off. It would have been a storybook ending for him. So, I mean, I thought he was going to pull it. But, I mean, that just goes to show you anything can happen. It's the league. Everybody's elite. You know what I'm saying? Momentum is real in the game. Seahawks then had it momentum from the start when the ball got snapped and they got a safety on the first play.
You're right. I have never seen a football game where a team scored an unintentional safety and lost the game. Anytime you give up a safety, except I've seen, you know, intentional safeties, people just run out of bounds. But once you give up a safety, you're done. Emotionally, you're finished.
And then the chemistry. It was something more than just the skills out there. The Seahawks, I mean, they were one unit. Everything.
Yeah, and they were hitting
the entire game.
I mean, when you had that look, I haven't seen a game where somebody was. It seemed like the whole team, from the lineman, the center snapping it like that out of bounds, the receivers getting hit, Manning. I mean, the whole offense seemed like they was intimidated. So, hey, but let's jump to the phone lines. Caller, say your name, where you're calling from.
Gentlemen, what's going on? It's Kelly Russell.
Hey, what's up, Kelly?
What's up, Kelly?
Hey, first and foremost, I want to say congratulations to the young men who are in the studio. My one piece of advice I always like to say, regardless of how far you guys go in life with football after college, if you're going to college on scholarship, regardless if it's full or partial, take advantage of that opportunity so you can come out of school with little to no debt, because that is one of the best opportunities you'll get in life is to have little or no debt after completing college.
True. Great advice, Kel.
Hello?
Great advice, Kel. You hear us? Kelly.
Hello?
All right, look, Kel. Looks like we're having a bad connection. Hey, let's stay on the phone lines. Caller, say your name. Where you calling from?
Hello.
Yes, you're on the air.
Okay, first of all, I also would like to thank the Steel City Sports World for having these student athletes in the studio, and I'd like to congratulate them for their accomplishments. And I know they didn't do it alone, so I want to congratulate all the people who supported them in their efforts. And I want to compliment them on being so well-spoken and articulate. I know there used to be a stereotype of athletes not being well-versed, but I'd say that these students were debunking that stereotype.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if each of them can tell me if they have been on TV before and that's why they're so comfortable, or is this their first appearance?
Okay. Great
How
question.
many of you guys have been on TV before?
Go ahead.
I've been on the show once before.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done a couple of things with Mr. Jim too. So.
Okay. All right. Dennis has been on there for a while. All right. We got 2 mics going now.
Yes, I've been on television before. Only once, but it was with Jim. So that's me.
I've been on TV myself a few times. This is my second time here. Been on the show with Heinz Ward, so I'm a pro.
And on the stage, right? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is the first time for me, but I had a lot of interviews after every game and stuff like that. So
Okay.
nothing new.
Like he said, after games we'll have interviews with scouts and stuff, and I take public speaking now in the school, and I've been on the show with y'all many times.
Like a million times.
So I'm pretty comfortable at talking in front of people. So.
Okay. All right. Hey, thank you for the call.
Oh, you're welcome. So I guess practice does make perfect.
Yes, it does. Thank you. Let's stay on the phone lines. Caller, say your name, where you're calling from.
Yes, this is LD from Point
What's up,
Break.
LD?
Hey, what's up,
Hey,
LD?
LD.
I want to say congratulations to the young men. I hope they all do well. And I just have a question about the NFL, and I want your opinions as well as the young men. I think the position of quarterback in the NFL is changing. The standard drop passer, I think that passer's time has come and may be gone. If you can't maneuver and move around a little bit, you're going to be in big trouble. I just want to know what everyone thinks about that.
Well, LD, a guy that I respect a lot in the business told me one time, Buddy Ryan. Buddy Ryan told me that he took Randall Cunningham because as a defensive coordinator, and he's probably the greatest defensive coordinator of all time, he said that the guy that gave him the most trouble was Roger the Dodger Staubach because he could run and pass. And Buddy Ryan says the hardest guy to defend is a quarterback that can run and throw. So I agree with you, LD.
I agree. Also, it seems like more of the taller quarterbacks and less mobile quarterbacks are starting to get older and fall out the league, and it's starting a new breed is starting to come in, like the 6-foot quarterbacks, Russell Wilson, 5'11", Lenny Williams. You know what I'm saying? My quarterback, all-time leading WPIAL records, passing and receiving. I mean, not receiving, passing yards. He attempted and touchdowns. But I feel like coming up, it's going to be a new breed because it's like another man you got to watch on the field.
Yeah, I think with I'll just throw it back over to you guys. I think with a defense like Seattle, where everybody's coming, they had no problem with a Peyton Manning, but Kaepernick was running all over him because they were putting that pressure and he would just escape. So, against those type of defenses, if you're a sitting duck, it's going to be a long night for you. And I think the same thing with Drew Brees. They were putting that pressure. He couldn't get away. So I think it's the type of defense that they're going up against. I think, these mobile quarterbacks, create a problem for those defenses that put a lot of pressure on her. I do think the position is changing. I thought it was changing for a while, but when you see these fast defenses like a Seattle, like a San Francisco, it's even more, of a need to have a little mobile.
I'll tell you why I disagree with that.
About I guess it was about 3 months ago, there was an article put out about the home of the triple threat quarterback.
Stand up during.
And the home of the triple threat quarterback is right here in Allegheny County.
Okay.
Now, the reason why we're seeing the change right now in most of these offenses in the NFL and in college because most of these offenses are taking in the option spread. Once you put in an option spread, offense to any situation, you need a mobile quarterback because he's part of that option. We're gonna option, we're gonna hand it off, we're gonna keep it, or we're gonna throw it. But with you having a mobile quarterback, you're able to have that threat. Without having a mobile quarterback, you don't have that threat. So you will still see standard quarterbacks running standard offenses, but with the way like defenses are moving like Seattle, you would need a Kaepernick running a spread offense to be able to beat that.
Right.
A standard quarterback doing a drop back is not beating a DN 6'7", 6'8", 265 running a 4.7.
Right.
It's not even going to happen. So once you add the sports science into the game, you get to see that will be prominent and always will continue to grow. The offensive coordinator at Slippery Rock just left to Sam Houston State because that's what he does. He doctors that offense, and he goes around the country and gives different programs that spread offense.
Okay. Mike, you want to jump in on this?
Yeah, what I think that, I mean, right now it's true that particular type of quarterback is doing much better, but what helps quarterbacks like Breeze and Manning and will continue to is not only is the game evolving, but the rules are also evolving all the time too. And the rules are new rules in place every year to protect the quarterback and protect the receivers to the point where a drop back quarterback eventually was not going to have to worry about the rush quite as much.
That's right.
That's true. That's true. Hey, let's stay on the phone. Let's call it. Say your name, where you're calling from.
Hey guys, this is Sean.
Hey, what's up, Sean?
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Nothing much. I think the biggest difference. Can you hear me? It's like a lot of.
Yeah, we can hear you, Sean.
We're having some feedback.
Okay. I think the biggest issue in the Super Bowl between the Denver Broncos playing the Seahawks compared to the Denver Broncos playing the Patriots in the AFC Championship game is that I followed the Seahawks all year. Your defensive backs, when anybody got injured, someone else stepped up, cornerbacks and safety.
Right.
Their defensive backs, they stepped up to the plate against Denver. The game was over right there. If Peyton Manning couldn't throw the ball, the game was over right there. Seattle had the defensive back step up. If you look at the New England game, once Aqib Talib went out the game, Belichick couldn't do nothing. The game plan was shot.
He just cried about it afterwards.
The Seahawks, they've had players get PEDs all throughout the year. Their backups have stepped up throughout the year. So in the upcoming years, you're going to have players leaving through free agency, but their backups are going to step up. And I know the Philadelphia Eagles, to this day, everybody in the city of Philly is crying because they never selected the safety Earl Thomas out of Texas. They say this to this day. Why did they not select Earl Thomas? And you see why now. He's a Super Bowl champion.
Good point. Good point, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Yes.
Who's the uncrowned champion in the NFL? Last team to beat Seattle was the genius Bruce Arians in Arizona. Don't sleep them next year, brother.
Another wrong prediction. You said they were going to win the whole thing, didn't make the playoffs, right?
Well, honestly, Smoking Jim, it just goes to show you how competitive the NFC West was.
True.
I think Arizona had 10 or 11 wins and didn't even make the playoffs.
Right.
That's right.
And they really didn't even have a quarterback.
And don't forget, next year the Rams with Jeff Fisher, and he just picked up Bounty Gate, Greg Williams as his defensive coordinator. So it's going to get real ugly, man, in that division, brother, defensively.
Yeah.
Are they?
That's the rumor.
Well,
That's
wow.
the rumor.
Well, hold on. Can I add something on to that? The LA move?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
go ahead, Sean.
The owner of the Rams, I think it's Stan Kasten. He just bought land in Inglewood, California, with a forum, the old LA Forum where the Lakers and Kings played at.
Right.
So if the owner of the Rams is buying land out there, and if St. Louis don't give him what he wants a new stadium in St. Louis. And I think that Edward Jones is 15, 20 years old. If he doesn't get a new stadium, he'll be moving to L.A. And if he moves to L.A., the Chargers will be moving with him, because if a team goes to L.A., they have to have another tenant.
Wow. Okay. All right, well, we'll see what happens, Sean.
Okay, guys. And I just want to say one more thing. Good luck to the guys on the panel. And for the kid, Jimmy Wheeler, I would look into going to Cal because you got Roger Kingdom is the track coach there, and they got the defending PIA state champion in 100 meters running down there too. So I would look into Cal for track.
All right.
Wow, hey, thanks, Sean.
All right, Sean. Thanks for the call, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Later. Hey, guys, we only got a few more minutes. I wanted to give you guys a chance to, thank parents, coaches, as we get ready to wrap up. Jimmy, you got the mic. You can start us off.
I want to thank my family, my friends, my coaches throughout my whole football career that taught me a whole bunch of things.
Okay.
Everybody that wishes me the best of luck.
That's what's up. All right.
For me, I like to thank everybody that's been involved in my life that helped me get anywhere in football, from my coaches to my mom and dad to my brothers and my sisters, just showing me love all whole way through. My school, everyone showed me love and just sticking with me and keeping my eyes on the prize.
All right. Kind of sad. Last time we will have Brendan on as a high school athlete. Seemed like we had you on freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. But keep doing your thing, Jordan.
First of all, I'd like to thank my parents for being with me every step of the way. My coaches for sure, all my trainers, Dwayne Brown, everyone that's been in my life, all you guys, everyone has helped me be the person I am today. So without them, I wouldn't be who I am. So I'm looking forward to playing college ball with Dickinson Red Devils and form all those new relationships.
There you go.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank God for all the gifts and abilities He's given me. Without Him, none of this would be possible. And I'd like to thank my teachers, my youth football coaches, my coaches right now. The amount of time that they put in for us athletes, watching film and giving us the game plans, it's crazy. It's like that's their second life. I mean, they give time to us away from their family and their children. So we definitely appreciate them. I thank my other teammates because, it is 11 men on the field at the same time, So I want to thank all my boys and thank my mother and my father. Without them, it wouldn't be possible. And that's about it.
I think you got everybody. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Excuse me. First of all, thank you guys for having me on this show, for having all of us on this show. I absolutely thank God. One thing that I always think about is that we're just passing through this world. Everything on this world is His. So He's definitely blessing us with a lot of stuff, blessing us to be in this position. I can't go through everybody. Definitely my parents, everybody that's in my circle, because right now we're in a position where we're taking a lot. We're asking a lot from a lot of people. A lot of people are trying to help us get to where we want to go, but we're just trying to get to a position where we can give back. So anybody that's ever invested in me, thank you to all those people. Know who they are, my trainers, my coaches, my parents, my family, my friends, all of them. So thank you.
That's what's up.
I'd like to thank not just 3, but all 4 of these beautiful young ladies in the room today for brightening this space up. So.
Yeah, right.
And also, shout out to my main man, international master photographers in the house, Bill Boyce. Thanks for all the pictures, Bill.
Hey, Reese, I know we ain't get you to say something, but we got a few minutes. So you have something you want to add to the conversation?
Well, I just like to, thank y'all once again. And congratulations to all y'all guys, whatever school you're going to. Is it Dixon, right? Hopefully Cal U, you know what I mean? Congratulations going to Pitt and whatever you do, Mr. Central Catholic, you do your thing. God bless y'all ladies too. You know what? It's just been hard in the sense of the recruiting process. I'm gonna just touch on that because
please do. As a parent,
coaches tell you one thing, you know what I mean, and then you don't hear from them for a minute, you know what I mean, and if you ain't running a 4.3 40. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of weight. You know what I mean? I'll be perfectly frankly, and I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Right.
He should be playing Division I.
Right. I agree.
That's my personal opinion. He should be playing Division I. Right. You know what I mean? And
join the club.
That's why, he may not tell y'all he's motivated. You know what I mean? He's gonna show everybody, hey, it is what it is, and the tape speaks for itself.
Right.
But definitely want to see this guy come down. I ain't on Mr. Cal. You like
He's getting pressure all kinds of ways.
I'm hitting him right now. I watched him on TV, a couple of games that were on, and hey. I mean, you just like, dang, this dude's a beast. Yeah,
Right,
I'm thinking the same thing. I mean, just watching him on TV, he should be a Division I player.
Right.
Hey,
You know
that's
what I
right.
mean?
That's why you guys got to join the club, man. I do transfers. I do transfers for college kids. If you a sophomore, a junior, freshman, I can get you to that bigger school, man. It's just the connections you need to know. It's not what you know sometimes. It's who you know. Join the club, Pittsburgh Legends, baby.
Okay. Hey, we only got a few seconds. I want to thank all the Steel City Beauties, all four of you. I want to thank all the players, all the parents for bringing the kids here. Great job. These are all great young men. I expect to see great things from them. For Smoking Jim, Mike, I'm Luther Dupree. We'll check you out next time. Check out the website, scsportsworld.com.